the structure we have, the routine and the habits that you do, it doesn't mean anything if you don't act on it. Hi love bugs, hope everyone is having a great day today. It's Kayla the Angel and I'm so happy and grateful you decided to click on this video today. Now, as y'all can see by the title, we are going to be talking about a special formula that I recently have come up with, which is structure plus accountability equals creativity. So I'm super excited to get into that, and I kind of want to do a little introduction into almost a series that I'm going to be starting on my YouTube channel, and I want to call this series is my adulting series. Now, just to let y'all know of what my adult credentials are. So I'm currently 24 years old. 6 months ago, I moved out on my own, moved into my very first apartment, and within the past 6 months, when I tell y'all, it has been like, just calling it a learning period doesn't even touch on all of the things that I've been able to learn and uncover about myself. But when I tell you, it has just truly been a very developmental chapter in my life. And I know this point, you know, what I'm doing, where I currently am, this is truly setting the foundation for so many of the amazing things that I want to do in the future. And as I've been learning and coming into adulthood, when I tell y'all, there wasn't no book. You know, no one sat me down and said, Kayla, these are the internal things that you need to make sure that you have checked and that you have handled down. So since I had to learn within the past 6 months, what good is me learning this information if I can't share with you all? So that is what we're about to do today, and we are going to get into the simple formula that really has helped me to be able to, one, improve my productivity level while at home, and two, allow me to tap more into my creativity, which has truly allowed me to enter into a state of thriving. Though it's been only 6 months of me living on my own, obviously I became an adult well before, you know, I moved out, or I like to think I did anyway. So back in 2021, that was when I made my first start into the world of career after graduating college in the spring. And at first I was working at a restaurant as a hostess, worked my way up from being a hostess to a server. Then from there, I became a social media administrator. Then from there, I am now at my current job where I'm working as a marketing specialist. Now, yes, I was, you know, getting my big girl job and, you know, making my money. But when you're living at home, and hopefully a lot of other, you know, 20-somethings can relate, though I was doing some adult things, I feel like mentally, because I was still in my home environment, me, you know, growing up with my parents, growing up with my siblings, it was like I was still stuck in this mode that wasn't truly me. I think part of it was because I was still living under my parents' roof, wanting to make sure that I always, you know, treated them with utmost respect. And that's not to say that's out of character for me to be disrespectful, but we know how parents are. There are often times where differing opinions, differing voices, and I can look back now and say when living at home, I did have to quiet myself a lot, and I had to back down from things a lot because my parents, though they love me and I know they care about me, I can say now, one thing that they would do is almost hold the fact that I was living at home over my head, you know? If I did something that they didn't like, they're like, well, you're sitting here, you know, not paying any bills, saving up money, da-da-da. And it was almost like, because of the privilege that I had of living at home, they expected so much more from me. Now, can I admit that there were times where I was slacking? Maybe I wasn't cleaning up my room as much as I should. Maybe I was behind on laundry for a couple of days. Yes, I can admit that. But that still doesn't excuse the fact that, honestly, when I was living at home, I was in a state of survival. I knew that there was a certain quote unquote version of Kayla that I had to be in order to appease my parents and in order to, you know, make sure my living conditions were good and that my stuff weren't going to be sitting outside when I got home from work. Not that I don't think they would have done that. I don't. But again, in the moment, if someone says they're going to threaten you with something, you're going to take that serious. And that's why I was in this survival mode. Once I moved out and I was outside of, you know, quote unquote, my parents' view in a sense. I feel like there was an inner teenage Kayla that was like, okay, we out, we on our own, it's time to rebel. And when I say rebel, it was almost like I was rebelling against myself. And what I mean by that is, so once I first moved out, I don't have anyone telling me to do the dishes, to do my laundry. You know, of course I was making sure I made it to work on time, but that's a whole nother story. I feel like there was an inner teenage version of Kayla that with this newfound freedom, I really said to freedom. And I did just that, because I would come home from work and I would be scrolling on my phone, sitting watching on my new TV, doing everything but, you know, the things that I needed to do. I needed to do things. I needed to put away my dishes. I need to do some laundry, because what clothes am I going to do my outfit of the day videos with if I don't do my laundry? Honestly, it was at the start of 2024 where I said, you know what? I have to make some internal changes with Kayla, because the habits and the routines that I was doing within the first 3 months of me living on my own, they weren't things that I knew were going to be able to really help me enter into a state of thriving. So what were the things that I needed? I knew that I needed structure. I needed accountability. And I knew from those two things that would allow me to enter into a state of being able to create. And now when I tell y'all, from the steps that I've been able to take that I'm about to share with you all, my creativity levels have been at astronomical levels. You know, when I first started this year and I was getting into content creation, I was kind of just into the trends. I was doing the outfit of the day, you know, the 2024 style challenge. I was just posting the post. But now when I tell y'all, I will be just sitting at my work desk and all of a sudden I'll just get a random idea. Kayla, talk about this. And I'm like, okay. So then I'll just open up my notes app. I'll start writing about one thing, and just the layers and everything. Literally, this video was an idea that I was able to kind of cultivate throughout my workday. And as I wrote these notes, and look, that's what I'm going to be able to share with y'all. So I'm super excited, and let's get into the good stuff. So this first step in this formula is structure. Now, the definition of structure is the arrangement of and relations between the parts or elements of something complex. And what is this something complex? It's you. It's me. And this morning, as I was writing my affirmations, I was actually reading a Bible verse that I think really just ties nicely with this. And Psalms 139 verse 14 says, "Thank you for making me wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it." And what I want you guys to understand is that this structure is a beautiful thing that will help you to be more productive and to feel better about the things that you are doing on a day-to-day basis. And as you understand your complexities and the things that make you uniquely you, you are going to be able to fit and tailor your life, your habits, and your routine so it aligns and allows you to enter a state of flow and not a state of not knowing where to go. So for me personally, when I look at Kayla and the complexity of Kayla, it's almost like I kind of like divide myself into two separate pieces. So there's Kayla the human and then there's Kayla the angel. So Kayla the human, this is my, adult aspect. This is me as a career woman, me as a marketing specialist, me as a woman living on her own who obviously has to upkeep her home. So those are the things that fall within my Kayla the human category. And Kayla the angel consists of my creative side, which is me as a content creator, graphic designer, and a multimedia artist as well too. So knowing I have these two complex and kind of different sides to me, what do I have to do in order to create the structure for both of these parts of me to thrive? So first thing that I do, focusing on Kayla the human, in my work, I know a lot of companies work on the Microsoft platform. So for me personally, I love to use the OneNote app. I love to use it as a way to track the things that I do at work. And also I make little to-do lists for myself for each day. That way I can, before I leave out for work, I will look at my to-do list of the things that I may not have been able to get done, and I'm moving it to the next day. Or I'm like, oh yeah, I do have this deadline coming up. Let me go ahead and write that down so I don't forget to do it on Friday. It's almost like I'm looking out for future Kayla by setting myself up for success now. By allowing myself the day before to already set myself up of, you know, Kayla, get this is top priority. You can start this, but not that important. It's almost like I'm communicating. It's like I'm time. It's time travel communication. Because again, you don't know how many times there has been different tasks that I need to do. I don't write it down. Out of sight, out of mind. That is me. Like, if y'all ever hear that quote, think of me. Because when I tell you, if I don't write it down or if I'm not looking at it, I'm going to forget about it. And that's just how it happens. And for my home and personal life, I have been really heavily using my reminders app on my iPhone. Really, y'all, I try to limit myself to only like 5 to 6 tasks a night. Anything more to that, especially for me, because I work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, it would just be too overwhelming and I would not be setting myself up for success. So for example, today, right after work, I immediately opened up my reminders app and I was like, okay, what do I need to do? I needed to do laundry, I needed to do dishes, and I wanted to come here and record this YouTube video. Now, as much as I was more so looking forward to recording this YouTube video, because of course I wanted to come here and talk to y'all, but I knew that I had to do my laundry and my dishes. So what did I do? I came home, I gave myself just like 5 minutes of just sitting and scrolling. I turned on some music, put my phone away, and then I got to the things that I need to do. Sometimes you have to create the environment for you to be productive. And I know for me, sometimes I have to put my phone in the next room. Sometimes I have to have music going just so I'm not in my head like, I hate laundry, I hate doing dishes. Because guess what? If I'm, you know, dancing along the SZA and everything, it makes doing laundry just a little bit more easier. I don't know about y'all. So you also have to create the structure that is allowing you to do the things that you need and want to do. Question for structure that I want you guys to ask is, what are the things that I have been neglecting that I need to take control of? Maybe it's your room. I know for me, when my room's a mess, my head's a mess. All right. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're setting your own schedule, and maybe you haven't been setting your own schedule. Whatever it is, use this time to structure it in a way that will be most productive for you, because no one knows you like you do. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about today is accountability. The big A word. So what does accountability mean? Accountability means an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. All right. I hope you guys see. I love to take definitions and like break it down and apply it to what that means for me. So after I read that definition of accountability, the question that came to mind for me is, do you accept responsibility for your choice to do or not to do something? Just as we went over in step 1, yes, there is structure. Yes, there are things that I need to do. But guess what? The same way that I came home and I held myself accountable to putting away my dishes, to doing laundry, to even coming here and recording this video, the same way, if I did not hold myself accountable, I would be sitting here, I would be sitting right in this very spot, scrolling on my phone, ignoring the things that I need to do. Because guess what? When it comes to accountability, it's you versus you. Let me say that one more time. Accountability is you versus you. The structure we have, the routine and the habits that you do, it doesn't mean anything if you don't act on it, if you don't produce the action that you need in order to do the things that you need to do. So when I think back to my time living at home, the reason why I wasn't holding myself accountable was because I was thinking a little too far in the future, y'all. When I moved back home during my junior year of college for COVID, I kept thinking, me being home is temporary. I'm gonna be back on campus soon. And then fall semester, senior year started, I'm still at home. Well, once I graduate, then I'll move out immediately. Yeah, it was just, I kept pushing the goalposts, and that kept me from holding myself accountable to the space that I currently had. When I tell y'all, when I was living at home, I didn't really decorate my room. I didn't put up any of my artwork around the walls. It was because I had this feeling like I'm not going to be here long. And I had that same sentiment when it came to keeping my space clean, keeping my space tidy. Even I had my own bathroom. Wasn't even upkeeping that the way that I should have. So I can look back and say that though I had feelings of not being happy where I was, that did not excuse the fact that I wasn't really taking authority for the fact that this is my space. This is Kayla. This is what feels good. And that is something that as I look back, I wish I had taken more ownership for my space and really decided to make it my own, even if it wasn't going to be my forever. Because guess what? I'm not going to be in this apartment forever either. But that doesn't mean that I just leave it the way that it is. I can make it my own. I can add my Kayla touch because that's what I'm supposed to do. So when I entered into living alone with that same mindset of not holding myself accountable, I realized that, again, this is my space. I'm paying the rent every month. I pay the utilities every single month. And why not decorate? Why not add the pieces and the things and the stuffed animals that make me feel good? And I can do that because I deserve that, because I deserve to live in a space that feels like me. I finally took authority over my space, and I still am in the process of that. I'm just slowly and surely, adding the pieces that I want. That has helped me to hold myself accountable to remembering, hey, this is my home. So yeah, when I come home from work, let me make sure I put away my dishes so that I have clean plates to eat off of. Oh yeah, I love getting dressed every morning, so let me make sure I have some clean clothes to wear. Oh, I love coming home to a place that makes me feel good mentally, so let me sweep these floors. Let me wipe the counter, so on and so forth, because I understand by holding myself accountable, I'm doing things that make me feel good. All of these things are to make me better, not to bring me down. So why not hold myself accountable to the things that are gonna bring me closer to becoming the best version of myself? I'm only hurting myself, so there's no reason to do that. And so again, by being accountable in my personal space, that has allowed me to be accountable when it comes to content creation, being accountable to the type of content that I want to put out, the platform that I'm building, and the community that I want to be engaged with, and that I truly want to educate with the wisdom that I have to share as well too. I want y'all to think for yourself, what is that one thing or two that you need to start, taking ownership of, and that you want to hold yourself accountable to as well too. Now that we have a structure that we feel good about, that allows us to reach all the different parts of us, and we are holding ourselves accountable to the things that we need to do on a daily basis, guess what? Now we get to thrive in creativity. So the definition of creativity is the ability to create or the ability to bring something into existence, because to create means to bring into existence. Once I was able to feel very well-rounded in my adulting, I felt like I was doing good in making sure my space was clean. Side note, I am not doing the best job when it comes to meal prepping and cooking, so that is something that I am working on and that I will seek out the resources to help me with. But all in all, I've been just feeling so much better as I enter deeper into adulthood. And one of the most important things that I'm realizing when it comes to adulthood is you have to make time for you. So for me personally, when it comes to creativity, I'm an artist and I'm a content creator, so creativity looks a little different for me. But if you're just someone who works a 9-to-5 and doesn't want to feel like you work, come home, work, come home, work, come home, start doing something for you. What are the things that make you feel good? What are those hobbies and activities where you feel most alive? Or if you're not sure, what are the things you used to do growing up that you enjoyed? Maybe you used to draw and doodle all the time in class. Maybe you were a bookworm and you haven't picked up a book since high school when you were required to read it. Yeah, I'm talking to you. But I want y'all to understand, as you go through the formula and as you clear your mind and your time of the things that you need to do, you now have the space and the openness to do the things that you want to do and the things that will help you feel more connected to who you are. Because yes, I work a job, but I am not my job. I am not my career. I am more than that, because I am Kayla the Angel. I'm a creative and I'm smart and I'm pretty funny, if I can say so myself. I think just one of the most important things is that creativity cannot live in survival mode. If you're just going through the day-to-day motions with no real passion, with no real heart in the things that you're doing, you're just doing it because you got to, you're not going to be able to create. You're not even going to be able to create the time for you to do the fun things that you want to do, because you're going to be so overwhelmed and so burdened by the mundane tasks that you don't care about. But as we know, as an adult, they're just things you got to do. Do I want to pay my rent every month? No, but I got to do it. And in order to pay my rent every month, what do I got to do? I got to go to work every day. In order to go to work every day, what do I got to do? I got to make sure I have that alarm set, all right? Everything's connected. But it really is, y'all. Because when I tell y'all the level of just happiness that I have because I am taking control of my space, I'm taking control of my time, and now I can take control of my creativity. You know, when I was living at home, I had all these art skills before too, but I wasn't doing anything with them. Even with content creation, I would just scroll in the For You page and it's like, oh, okay, this is trending. Let me use this audio. You know, let me use this filter. Let me do X, Y, Z. It wasn't me. I was just going through the motions. But now, y'all see, it's Kayla. Kayla the Angel, if you're nice. Let me stop. Kayla the Angel, Kayla Wallace, whoever you want to call me. But I know who I am because I have allowed myself the structure to allow me to thrive in. Because I'm a creative person. I have a bunch of ideas and things that flow to me and come to me. And in order for them to really take reality, I gotta be able to grab them. And when I grab them, I gotta put it in something. Y'all see the connection? The creativity is the water. The structure and accountability is the container that you're able to put the water in so you can keep on drinking. So you can drink on, baby. Oops, I need to get some more water myself. I hope y'all were able to enjoy my little life hack formula that I've been working on. So again, structure plus accountability equals creativity. Whatever it is you want to create, whatever it is you want to bring into existence, you have the power to. Once you are able to truly identify the things that you need to restructure about yourself, what you have to hold yourself accountable to, I have the utmost faith that you will be able to live the life that you want to live. I hope y'all were able to get so much value from this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content.